Okay, so now that you know how to write an equation in point slope and slope intercept form, I want to go back and look at how do you change an equation from standard form to slope intercept form. So this is written in standard form, and I don't know if you remember this, but a long time ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, we did notes where we talked about standard form. And I'm trying to get the notes so I can, so here's what it looked like. And we had these notes and we wrote in what standard form was, and then we looked at some examples. We looked at this method to find the x and y intercepts. But there's also this method, which is to convert to slope intercept. So standard form is when an equation is written ax plus by equals c. Okay, and so we want to take it from standard form to write it in slope-intercept form. And you remember what you just did. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So that means that I'm going to have to solve for y. I'm going to have to get everything that's not y over to one side. I'm going to have to subtract. I'm going to have to multiply or divide, do whatever I have to do. So I think I'm going to work through these two with you and have you try the bottom ones on your own and check. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to subtract 15x. Subtract 15x from both sides. And so that's going to leave me with negative 12y over here, because that minus 12 makes it negative 12y. And I could write this as 30 minus 15x, but I know that I want it to be in mx plus b form. So I'm just going to go ahead and write negative 15x plus 30. It really doesn't matter if you just wrote 30 minus 15x, but you know that this is the form. Okay, one more step. I have this negative 12 with the y. So what am I doing with the negative 12 and the y? I'm multiplying. So in order to get the y by itself, I need to divide by negative 12. And if I do that on one side, I have to do that on the other side. So that's going to leave you with y equals, and I have negative 15 divided by negative 12, so that can just be 15 over 12. X. And I have 30 divided by negative 12, so that can be minus 30 over 12x. But there are some common factors here. So I can simplify this. I can divide by 3. And so 15 divided by 3 is 5. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So this can be 5/4 x minus, and I think 6 can go into both of these. So 30 divided by 6 is 5. 12 divided by 6 is 2. And I can make it minus 5 halves. Could you just leave it? Yeah, you could just leave it. You could leave it y equals negative 15x plus 30 over 12. So, you know, you could leave it this way, but I think this is going to be the best way to put it. Okay, let's look at the next one. So the next example, 3x plus 2y equals 12. I'm going to subtract 3x. Subtract 3x. That leaves me with 2y equals, and instead of doing 12 minus 3x, I'm going to put the negative 3x first because I know that I want it to be y equals mx plus b. The only thing left to do is to undo multiplying by 2, which means divide by 2 on both sides. So y equals negative 3 halves, 3 over 2, x, plus, and this time I can do mental math. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So there's your equation. So I want you to pause the video and I want you to try to change this And these two at the bottom that are in standard form, try to change those to slope-intercept. And when you're done, unpause the video and check yourself. Okay, so if you work through the first example, you can check that one now. You should add 5x on both sides, and you can write 11 plus 5x, but you probably should go ahead and write it negative y equals 5x plus 11. You have a negative y because that minus y makes it negative. So the last thing you have to do is divide by a negative 1. When you divide by negative 1, 5 turns into negative 5x, and 11 turns into minus 11. If you haven't done the second one, try the second one. Pause the video, check yourself when you're done. When you work through the next example, you need to subtract 4x from both sides. That'll leave you with negative 2y equals negative 4x minus 16. You need to divide by negative 2 on both sides. So negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2x. Negative 16 divided by negative 2 is positive 8. Now that you've worked through those examples, and the next thing you're going to do is practice more. So you can ask Ms. Hemberly for a solving for a variable sheet. That sheet looks like this. Hold please. Drum roll. Here we go. So she'll give you a sheet, and you're going to focus on solving for y when the equation is written in ax plus by equals c. That's standard form. So you're taking it from standard form to slope-intercept form. There are the answers. There are 15 on here, so choose like 8 to do. Okay, thank you.